Oh, how time flies! This episode mentions that there are only 2 battles left in the Phoenix Vesta. One of those battles happens in this episode, and then there's going to be the battle between Ayato and Hulis and the robots. And quite possibly there may be some kind of battle between Ayato and the guy who hurt his sister at the very beginning of this anime. I cannot believe how close we are to the end of Asterisk War. Granted, there have been quite a few episodes of this anime that have been forgettable filler, and whilst this episode was kind of filler, I feel like this episode had enough substance to keep the ball rolling. So in episode 18 of Asterisk War, Kirin and Saya are on the hunt for Flora, as Flora had been kidnapped in a previous episode for some reason, and I gather that Kirin and Saya are simply looking through random buildings in the area until they find their targets. I have no idea what is motivating Kirin and Saya. I mean, have they even met Flora? But at least this whole search gives them something to do now that they have been taken out of the Phoenix Vesta. And yes, there are some tears between them, which is totally natural, and that scene between them where they get frustrated that they lost provides some closure on their participation in the Vesta. Meanwhile, Hulis and Ayato kick some ass in the Vesta as they're up against a boy with a sword and a guy in armor. Wow, those two have so much chemistry together. Now, I thought that this battle would be super epic and challenging, but nope, it was over kind of quickly. I actually would have liked to see Kirin and Saya go against this episode's opponents, especially since we could probably see a more interesting sword fight between Kirin and the young boy. I mean, this episode's sword fight was really average and there was no intensity to it. Then after Ayato and Hulis win their battle, they go off to help Kirin and Saya, whilst talking with Ayato's friend along the way, despite it being pretty obvious that Ayato's friend is a traitor, and also those robots from the previous episode experience growth, in quotes, after they reflect on their most recent battle. So are the robots going to become too human before their battle between Ayato and Hulis? So yeah, this was an okay filler episode, apart from the boring sword fight and character development between the two robot engineers that could have been done in a more interesting way, like if the engineer's robot leg was revealed after she saved her engineer friend from something. The rest of this episode was okay. It could have become really cheesy and awkward in parts, but it just about stayed mature enough for me to handle it. I don't really care about Flora as a character. My gosh, she is so annoying, but hopefully in the next episode we'll get to meet her kidnapper and find out why Flora's kidnapping occurred.